Hello and welcome to From Standards to STEMpathy, a video series where STEM Redefined explores diversity, equity, and inclusion within the context of teaching standards. In this video, we dive into the National Research Council's Next Generation Science Standards, or NGSS, as described in a framework for K-12 science education. A framework for K-12 science education outlines 4 disciplinary core ideas that all students should be familiar with by the end of high school: physical sciences, life sciences, earth and space sciences, and engineering. The framework offers guiding questions for the field's core standards, as well as expected answers, or benchmarks, for students of various grade levels. STEM Redefined builds upon research cited in a framework's Chapter 11, Equity and Diversity in Science and Engineering Education. As this section explains, when people enter into the practices of science or engineering, they do not leave their cultural worldviews at the door. Instruction that fails to recognize this reality can adversely affect student engagement in science. Students bring cultural funds of knowledge that can be leveraged, combined with other concepts, and transformed into scientific concepts over time. Our organization thus situates diversity, equity, and inclusion within the context of STEM education. To encompass our understanding of DEI, we define STEMpathy as the intentional inclusion of a diverse set of identities in STEM in order to reflect and shape the world in an equitable manner. Our guide to NGSS condenses the information found in a framework by highlighting the high school grade band endpoint for each standard. As students build this knowledge, we encourage educators to explore the ways in which they may tie in discussions on diversity, equity, and inclusion. By the end of 12th grade, we may then expect students to be able to act with STEMpathy. To achieve this goal, STEM Redefined builds students' understanding of the way in which STEM research can alleviate social inequities. Our current online library highlights intersections of STEM and the social factors of race, gender, and sexual orientation. The curated collection of articles, videos, and podcasts demonstrate connections between NGSS disciplinary core ideas and ongoing social movements, allowing students to engage more with STEM lessons, as well as to build a sense of cultural competency within their STEM pathway. Here are some examples of resources that you can use in your classroom. Using Flint, Michigan as a preliminary case study, the Bloomberg article, "If You Want Clean Water, Don't Be Black in America," describes water issues in relation to race throughout the United States. This pressing issue can be used as a warm-up exercise for students to contemplate before learning a lesson on water, ESS 2.C, and human activity, ESS 3.C. The 4-minute video, A Tale of Two Zip Codes, introduces a central concept of public health, the impact of social factors on predictors of life expectancy. The video may initiate a wrap-up discussion for a lesson on heredity, LS3.B. The podcast, The Changing Facial Recognition Landscape, discusses the potential of bias in data sets, as well as the dangers of facial recognition. A written reflection on this podcast may be used as a supplemental assignment for a lesson on computer science concepts, PS4.A or PS4.C, or on engineering applications, ETS 2.B. Currently, our NGSS Connected Resource Library is hosted on Airtable. To navigate through the Airtable, click through the filters as follows. Click on Filter at the top of the Airtable. Choose Add Filter. Click on Resources. Choose one of the 4 categories which correspond with the 4 disciplinary core ideas. Once you've chosen an option, use the drop-down menu to filter the resources. Suppose you would like to filter for more than one category. Click Add Filter once again, and repeat the previous steps. You may also filter for more than one standard in a category. Collapse the filter to view the resource cards freely by clicking the Filters button again. You can also use the search bar at the top to find keywords in any field. Our work aims to lower the activation energy for teachers to promote cultural competency as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion in their classrooms. To make this happen, we need your feedback. We encourage you to reach out with questions or comments to stemredefined@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our video on Next Generation Science Standards as a part of our series From Standards to STEMpathy. Please subscribe and/or visit STEMredefined.com to access more teacher resources and to enhance your STEM classroom. Thanks again for watching. We can't wait to see how you redefine STEM.